Our economy has been growing for 4 years. Our businesses have created 8.5 million new jobs. But while those at the top are doing better than ever, average wages have barely budged. Too many Americans are working harder than ever just to get by, let alone get ahead. And that's been true since long before the recession hit. That's why we've got to build an economy that works for everybody, not just a fortunate few.
Detroit, Michigan, a city of true patriots, a city of true Americans. Those people here have balanced the horrid economy with their daily necessities and lifestyles. Here you find people that give everything daily in one hope that this city will one day be great again.
That raising the minimum wage has a tendency of causing especially small businesses, the type in small towns, type of businesses that hire students. When their costs go up, they cannot hire as many. So it could certainly have a negative impact.
Recap over the Michigan minimum wage laws.
The first federal minimum wage was created in 1938 at 25 cents per hour. That is the equivalent today of $4.07. Now currently, as of 2009, minimum wage became $7.25 per hour. The current minimum wage in Michigan is $8.50 an hour and will be $8.90 in 2017. The Michigan minimum wage is currently more than double of what minimum wage was worth in 1938.
Those of us who believe in having a minimum wage that is more robust or raising it do so not only because we think it's important that some jobs do have a base minimum that they get paid, but also because of its impacts on everybody's wages.
When it comes to minimum wage, we have to consider what's best for small businesses, and especially small businesses in small towns.
Your district is a fairly urbanized district. Do you feel raising the minimum wage would have a separate effect in your district alone versus the Milan area district?
So our district is Ann Arbor, part of Ypsilanti area, and Pittsfield Township, and all the way down to Milan. And what it would do is there's a principle called the living wage, which is basically what it actually costs to live in an area. And it varies very much by community. It's less expensive to live outside of Ann Arbor in Washtenaw County, and far more expensive to live in Ann Arbor. And so raising the wages, or the minimum wage in general, would have definitely different effects on each of those communities. Essentially, if you raise the minimum wage, you should see that impact in all wages rising.
We don't win anymore. Our taxes are too high. I've come up with a tax plan that many people like very much. It's going to be a tremendous plan. I think it'll make our country and our economy very dynamic. But taxes too high, wages too high, we're not going to be able to compete against the world.
I can remember as a youngster, my first job working in our laboratory as a lab assistant and multiple other jobs. But I would not have gotten those jobs if someone had to pay me a large amount of money. But what I did gain from those jobs is a tremendous amount of experience and how to operate in the world and how to relate to different people and how to become a responsible individual. And that's what gave me what I needed to ascend the ladder of opportunity in this country. That's what we need to be thinking about. How do we allow people to ascend the ladder of opportunity rather than how do we give them everything and keep them dependent?
Getting people more money in their pockets is generally always a good thing for actual production of anything in the same location that we're talking about. So if we want to support more domestic businesses, both in Michigan and elsewhere in the country, then having people with enough money to purchase those domestic products is an important part of that.
But we cannot do this if we are going to compete with the rest of the world. We just can't do it.
As far as the minimum wage is concerned, people need to be educated on the minimum wage. Every time we raise the minimum wage, the number of jobless people increases.
Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Steadily, things are getting better. But we all know there's more work to do. And the decisions we make now are going to have an impact on whether or not this economy works for everybody or just folks at the top.
When people have money, that they spend more money. And so that's good for our economy. We need to look at what it costs to live and make our adjustments based on that. Minimum wage is kind of a baseline.
With that, I just have two more words to say? Obama out.